Something I feel like James Gunn, I think he said it where after Guardians 2 he kind of got soured on post credit scenes because he did the Adam Warlock thing and then everything kind of got shifted around and changed and then he still had to include Adam Warlock in Guardians 3. And so I don't think he fucks with post credit scenes anymore because of that, where he was like, damn, I wish I didn't have to include, like, I didn't include this post credit scene because now I have to fucking include this character. So when it comes to that, I'm not sure if we're ever going to get like an actual meaningful post credit scene in any project, which is sad because that's such like a, I mean, it's been like very recently with a lot of Marvel project stuff, but that still is like a very big thing like in the DNA of like superhero movies is a post credit scene that like teases what's next or introduces a character. So if we don't get that in any DCU project, that would also be like very sad, I guess. Um,
I can also
so
kind of understand that though to his extent because it's just like from there, if he does tease something, then I think he kind of feels responsible to where he has to kind of follow up on that. To where if he doesn't have to do that, he could really just go in any direction he really kind of wants. I feel like he kind of really wants that freedom and works very well with that freedom of just being able to go wherever he wants to and then be able to come back to whatever that was whenever the time is right. But
sure,
it feels like whenever you do an end credit scene and you do tease something, that's like, okay, that's obviously the next thing I have to work on. And I can understand that, like, obviously, that's how chronology works, but I feel like with the DC, there's so many fun places you could go to where when you don't have that burden of having to go to the next thing, there's so much for you to explore in that whole universe.
sure. I think I agree. Well, not that I necessarily agree. I understand to an extent. What would be the difference if, so, okay, let's say Peacemaker season 2 finale post credit scene, they introduce Booster Gold, right? Kumail Nanjiani is playing Booster Gold. Hey guys, I'm Booster Gold. What would be the difference in including that as a post credit scene or just including that in an episode of the show? Because either way, you still now have to use this character. You know what I'm saying? Which he would use in an episode of the show without a problem. So I'm like, that kind of doesn't 6'7", that doesn't weigh that doesn't weigh too much.
Don't fucking six
But
seven it.
also, but also, um, fuck, what was I gonna say? Now I threw myself off with the 6'7". He there's a difference when he's directing, right? When he directs Guardians 2, does the Adam Warlock post credit scene, and then goes, fuck, I have to include him. Uh, he wasn't in charge. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, he's the director, but he still has to answer to Marvel and Feige and Disney, to where maybe he went, yeah, I'll just scrap that and I'll use him. And then Kevin Feige goes, nah, man, you got to include him. Or Marvel, all the execs go, no, you need to include him. He's the boss. So it's like if he did set something up in a post credit scene, not that he should do this because it's still not great, but if he did set something up in a post credit scene, he doesn't have to necessarily use it. But also, on a more important note, he is the boss. So if he sets something up in a post credit scene, there's nobody to tell him, hey, you can't do that in this next show because he's the guy that makes that. So it's like I feel like him being soured on post credit scenes in that aspect, I understand from the aspect of just being a director that's not in full control. But the fact that he's in full control, he could introduce Batman at the end of Lanterns, and then he doesn't have to worry about, I don't know if I can use this because it's like, no, you are in charge, so you're the one that dictates where Batman shows up again. So I feel like I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like post credit scenes should be important. It should be included, and so yeah, that's just my last little bit of it.